How do you think the pandemic has changed China? And also, how has it changed people's opinions on China?
We look back a couple years just as the pandemic was becoming picked up by the media globally. There was a slew of articles in the English language press that Western democracies were best suited to handle these kinds of crises. And in particular, the US, because of all of its resources, with all of its expertise, the CDC, would handle this the best. And who would suffer the most because of their weak governance? China, right? And it turned out to be exactly the opposite. We see these headlines about the cost of these zero COVID lockdowns, et cetera, but ignoring the much larger cost in human lives from the more American approach, right? There is the argument that is recognized as legitimate that China did do a very good job, but at what cost?
Do you think it's worth it?
Every country has to make its own choices. Whereas I think that if we look at the US, sometimes the rationale is even stated this explicitly, right? The economic cost of really doing something to reduce COVID death and illness would be catastrophic. The US does not want to bear those costs. We can accept a certain amount of deaths in exchange for a certain amount of economic growth or prosperity. These are very, very difficult decisions. And I think the choice that China has made is that human life is very important. In some ways, we could say the Chinese system is more benevolent and more humane.